So I don't know if you want to talk too much about your corporate structure, but I think, you and I have both used, like offshore talent, like we have international teams. And, for a long time, that's a technique people used to, mitigate costs and stuff, but also just get a wider talent pool.
Right.
But now we're seeing the rise of AI and all these different tools that can also speed up development and also make things efficient and perhaps cheaper. Have you thought about, it's such a fast shifting industry, I have a hard time trying to comprehend what the implications are for us as game developers. Have you used any AI? Have you thought about AI? Do you have any opinions or ideas of where it's going to take game development in the future?
I mean, we've dabbled in AI just from a generating art perspective, and sort of experimented with it. We haven't actually put it in our next project or any of our previous projects. I'm kind of in your mindset that I have a hard time wrapping my head around how it can fundamentally change game development.
But we know it is.
Yeah,
we just don't know how and why and when.
We don't know how or why or what it's going to be. I mean, is it going to be, are you going to be able to wake up one day and be like, okay, I want to play a first-person shooter set in the Amazon with, hot chicks as my enemies and I have to do whatever. I mean, run drugs. Just like crazy off-the-wall stuff. And then suddenly, 10 minutes later, oh, your game is ready to play. Message comes up. Maybe that will happen, and it probably will at some point. But I probably will go to my deathbed always thinking that human-generated stories will be always more interesting than AI-generated stories. And
sure,
maybe I'll be proven wrong.
But going back to the Saints Row thing, needing 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million to make a Saints Row.
Yeah.
Is it possible with AI you could make a Saints Row for $3 million? You know what I mean? Like,
well,
you don't need as many people.
Yeah, possible. But here's the thing. Like, one of the things that we have, I would consider pioneered is a development method of leveraging talent from areas of the world that are up and coming, that have very talented people. And very skilled at what they do, and they just don't have the opportunity to work on products other than reskinned slot machine games. And so we've tapped into that. Bulk of our studio is in Manila, Philippines, and we do. One of my very close friends lives out there. He's an American expat that moved out there because it's really incredibly cheap to live. And we have a core group of people there that all come from mobile land, most of them, and they were just making slot machine reskin games. And these are passionate developers and passionate gamers, and they just never had the opportunity to work on original IP. They never had the opportunity to work on what I would consider real games. I don't consider slot machines real games, and we've had almost next to no turnover, and we can do fairly large scoped games. For budgets that I could never do if I had a staff here in the West or in Europe, and that's how we were able to get into VR and actually be profitable, making VR games. And just didn't get lucky doing a Beat Saber or something like that. So I think that the end of the story is that I think that there is a way there. And you have to be very fortunate to be in that position, but there's a way to do bigger budget titles. I would like to do bigger budget, bigger scaled games, but leveraging talent from up and coming regions so that you can take chances and without having to break the bank, without having to completely knock it out of the park to be profitable. You can really take chances and explore different ideas and different genres, and going back to kind of like how things were on PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2.
Yeah, because we've definitely lost some spontaneity. We've lost some there's a lot less experimentation going on with games. Well, at least I guess you could say
on Steam there's
quite a bit, but like when it comes to the so-called AAA games, there's fewer of them now, and they're
almost paint by numbers.
Yeah, and there are far less types of them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think I think we can end it there.
Okay.
I think unless there's anything else you want to say, I think we're good.
Okay, cool. Go check out Ultrawings 1 or Ultrawings 2 on Steam or MetaQuest platforms, and drop us a line at bitplanetgames.com. Tell us what you think.
All right. Christopher Stockman.
Thanks, Ralph.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.